back to another session of Art at Home. My name is Amy and I'll be leading you through this project today, which is watercolor fall leaves. We have an example of our finished product over here, and we will be working with plain old ordinary like classroom watercolors, as well as a few little tricks of the trade. So let's get started. In your bag, you'll find some painter's tape, and this is going to be used to hold your paper to your painting surface, and it also creates a really nice little frame for your picture. Okay, so after you have your paper taped securely to your surface, use the little bit of sponge that came in your bag and just moisten all of the little watercolor pans. You want that to sit for a while and really kind of soak in. Then you have your leaves. So here's an outline of an oak leaf. You can cut that out, use it as a template, and then figure out a nice way to put it in your picture. I really like diagonal compositions. I think they're really dynamic. So I'm going to very lightly and voila, I have a shape. So we want to always work from the background to the foreground. And so what we're going to do is, come out. Get your little piece of sponge, and we're not going to paint yet. All we're going to do is dampen the water. This is to create what we call wet on wet, where we are going to put the wet watercolor onto the wet paper. Okay, so now we're going to start to do a little bit of blue. You could also mix some purple in there if you wanted, I suppose. And you see how beautiful that is? That shape, the texture. So we're just using the little bits of paint to create sort of a sky background. You see I'm blending it with water. We don't want too many crisp lines here. And then while this is still wet, we add your other secret, special, cool thing, and that is kosher salt. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry for about 30 minutes and then come back and see what we have. Using a clean bit of sponge, or you can, wash off the sponge you used for the blue too. I always tear up my sponges until they're just little tiny bits of it. Dip it in the water. And now, just like we did with the sky, we're gonna moisten in the leaf shape. You could start light to dark or dark to light. I don't know if it really matters. I'm gonna start with the red in the middle. Okay. Now, whenever you're using red, a little bit goes a long way. And this is true not only with watercolors, but really anything. So really, you see I'm just touching the surface and it's sort of, blending out like that, and it's just so pretty. Okay, another little piece. And we're gonna go out from red to orange to yellow. A little bit of orange. And you see it's just a little tiny bit of paint. And I'm painting with the sponge. I'm blending them together. And then, oopsies. You want to be very careful not to paint the yellow over the blue, because what's yellow and blue together? You're gonna get green. I mean, if it happens a little by accident, you can certainly turn it into part of your painting. Like maybe there's a portion of the leaf that didn't change and it still has its summer green on. You can turn it into part of your painting. Maybe a little bit of a stem there. Okay, and now a little tiny bit of brown. The brown is going to create some depth, give a little bit more texture to the leaf, and also give us some pigment to use when we do the little veins. Using a little bit of brown, like around the middle of it. You know, leaves have little rotten bits. And now I'm going to use the paintbrush, but not the hair bit, the other end of it, to draw the veins. I'm gonna actually crease the paper a little bit and then press down. Okay, now you could stop there. If you like a soft focus kind of leaf, if you like that sort of dreamy look, that really could be a nice finished product. If you want instead to give it a little bit of an outline to make it more like distinct against the background, then you can go back in with your paintbrush and a little bit of brown on the edge here. And then it's pretty much done. And there we go. A perfectly beautiful watercolor fall leaf. Well, I hope you enjoyed making watercolor fall leaves with us today. As you see, you've got 2 pieces of paper in your bag, and you can do oak leaf and a sycamore leaf to make what we call a diptych, a 2-part painting. You can display it any which way you like. These are sort of basic shapes, basic sizes for pre-made frames if you want to go that route. So I hope you learned a little something about watercolors and a few tricks of the trade. And please share your masterpieces with us at #FCCArtAtHome. We'll see you next time for another session of Art at Home in 2 weeks, where we'll be making another masterpiece of original, beautiful art that you can do at home. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.